Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the red line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends. It's a great day, and we're going to make it even greater. I've got 15 minutes worth of words to share with you today. You're on the red line. It is my weekly call that I share with my listeners and those that are continuous listeners. I want to thank you being faithful to these messages. I trust that these messages have benefited you in a mighty way. And I challenge you not to keep them all to yourself, but to share them with your friends and tell them about the podcast, tell them about the Red Line Live on Monday mornings. This call is certainly designed to get you off on a great start. Coming off of the weekend, certainly you want to be up and ready and energized and continue to challenge yourself along the way and continue to grow. You can never stop learning. Growth is so important that we continue to challenge ourselves and others to continue to grow. And so today I want to talk about the law of process, the process of becoming an effective leader. There is a process. You just don't become an effective and great leader overnight. It takes time, it takes study, it takes perseverance, it takes failure, it takes ups, it takes downs, it takes listening. It's a lot of things that come into being a successful and effective leader. And so if you want to become a successful leader, the good news is that you can do it. You can do it if you put your mind to it. You can achieve it because guess what? Every one of us has potential. But it isn't accomplished overnight. It requires perseverance, and you absolutely cannot ignore the process that it takes to become a successful leader. And so I'm here to tell you, leadership, it doesn't develop in a day. It takes a lifetime. But in this lifetime, you're going to make a positive difference in your own environment, in your own life, and you're going to make a difference in other people's lives as well. Because if you want to be inspired, then you want to continue to learn and grow and attend different events, participate in different events that's going to grow you, read your books of interest. If you want to improve, then I'll engage you in a process, and I want you to stick with it. You know, watch what a person is doing every day. That's the key here. Because when you start any process, you're going to develop some habits. Some are bad habits, some are good habits. But you watch what people are doing every day, day after day, and you'll know, here's what you're going to know. You're going to know who that person is and what he or she is becoming. I spoke on this a while ago on the subject matter, and I said, what you study is what you become. And it's truth to it because it's a matter, if you sit and watch television all day, then you're going to become a newsreel. You're going to be an expert in talking about what comes on at 8 o'clock, what comes on at 9 o'clock. If you're going to just sit around all day and look out the window, you're going to know what time the mailman comes. You're going to know what time the UPS truck drops by. You're going to know these things because these are things that you're doing every day, things that you're watching every day. And so when you step back and just observe your neighbor, just observe your friend or your coworker, and you could pick up on what they are becoming because it's what they study and what they have a passion for. Now, it's not always associated with negativity. It's associated with something positive because if you study the right things and you study the things that you have a passion about, things that you want to grow, things that you want to learn, things things that you want to do in impacting this world, then you will see that what you study and what you are watching and what you are doing, it is a part of your DNA. It's a part of your daily action. It's a part of what you do. And hopefully it's something that you desire to do, something that you want to do. I've heard my mentor and teacher, John Maxwell, say there's two choices when it comes to work. One, I have to go to work, or two, I get to go to work. And which will it be? When you have your mind made up to do something, to accomplish something, and have a passion about something, you get to go to work. But when you don't have a passion and you don't have your mind made up to become better, then you got to go to work because you got to pay some bills. You got to keep the lights on, and you got to stay under a roof and put some food in your belly. And so there is an old saying. The saying goes like this: champions don't become champions in the ring. They are merely recognized there. If you want to see where someone develops into a champion, look at their daily routine. And this is what I'm asking you to do as you develop the process of becoming an effective leader, is your daily routine. And some of the routines that you and I have, we've got to break off away because it's not doing us any good. If you're stopping by like I was doing every day and getting a donut and a coffee, the coffee was good and helping me get some energy, but the donut was putting extra pounds on. And so I had to stop that routine because I didn't want to blow up and get to the point where I have to start taking medicine to get the cholesterol down and medicine to get the blood pressure down and all of those kind of things. I'm trying to live a healthy life, and so we all should be trying to do that. But the daily routine, what is the routine? And so you map it out. You got to have a course. And you got to have what's important now that's going to move the needle, that's going to move you in a positive way along the journey. And so you map it out and you write it out and you follow it. And even though you may have to leave a little wiggle room to make adjustments along the way, you stick to the routine. And so the first process is developing a routine, developing a way of action each and every day to reach the ultimate goal that you're going after. Number two, we're talking about the law of process, the process of becoming an effective leader. What a person does on a disciplined, consistent basis, it gets him or her ready no matter what the goal. Think about that. What a person does on a disciplined, consistent basis gets him or her ready no matter what the goal is. You can see the effect of this law process in any walk of life. NBA Hall of Famer Larry Bird, you know him, played with the Boston Celtics. Hall of Famer. He became an outstanding free throw shooter, and he became that outstanding free throw shooter by practicing 500 shots each morning before he went to school. And he continued that throughout high school and college, and when he reached the professional ranks of playing for the NBA Boston Celtics, and you could count on him making 8 to 9 out of 10 every free throw. And I can tell you free throws are so important towards the end of the game where the team is fouling purposely to see if you'll miss. You didn't want to foul him because he would come to the free throw line and he would hit the shot. And so they would look for someone who wasn't so disciplined, who was not able to make free throws on a consistent basis. And they picked the weakest link. And so what it is, he determined that this is part of the basketball game and part of his development, that he wanted to be almost perfect. And he worked on it. And he was disciplined. And he did it day in and day out. Now, you just think about something that you'll do. Those of you that exercise. Someone said after about 21 days of consecutively doing something, it becomes a habit. There's some truth to that because your body, I know as I run and I try to exercise on the days that I've identified. And when I don't feel like it on that particular day, it's something within me. I hear that voice on the inside, get up and go, get yourself going. And I get up and I go, and I'm glad I did it after I do it. But if you ignore that voice and listen to that lawyer on the inside that tells you that you don't need to go, you don't need to do that which you've been disciplined to do, then it's so easy to get out of going to the gym in that way. But you continue to go, you'll find yourself being pulled to go from a mental perspective. And then that's why it's always good to even have a accountability partner, because that person will call you up, hey, I'm waiting on you. What time are you going to get there? And that helps because you're going to push each other. You're going to encourage each other. But we're talking about the process of becoming an effective leader. And we said, number one, you've got to be someone who takes a script and works it day by day. And then two, be disciplined about it, be consistent about it, and get ready to do it each and every day. And you will reach your goal. And so that is so important. Number three, when you recognize your lack of skill and begin the daily discipline of personal growth, exciting things will start to happen. And so we challenge ourselves. You hear me on every broadcast, every podcast. I'm always saying my hope is that you continuously grow and you become better and stronger and all of that. But when you think about it, make it a practice. Make it a practice to read books. Make it a practice to listen to the programs that come on XM radio or programs that come on cable or whatever it might be of interest to you, where you are learning things that are going to help you. The whole point of this is that in this process of becoming an effective leader is that you're setting the groundwork of discipline, the groundwork of consistency, the groundwork of determination, and to continue to grow by making it a practice to learn more and to do more, because it is the capacity to develop and improve your skills that distinguish you from leaders versus followers. Your capacity, we all have capacity and potential, and we must pour into that, and we must improve these skill sets, because if we continue to do the things that we need to do, then we will not only improve ourselves, but we will improve those that are around us. And so if you continuously, my friends, invest in your leadership development, letting your assets compound, then the inevitable result is growth over time. It will happen. And so just remember these things. And before I close, I just want to give you 3 statements that I like to share with you. Number one, leaders, they understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment, because when we're busy, we naturally believe that we are achieving. But busyness does not equal productivity. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Number 2, leaders never advance to a point where we no longer need to put things in priority, because putting things in priority requires leaders to what? To continuously think ahead and to know what's important and to know what's next and to see how everything relates to the overall vision. And then number 3, leadership has nothing to do with comfort, but everything to do with progress. So the question, my friends, in this law process, the process in becoming an effective leader, the question is, today, the question is, are you moving or are you standing still? Well, I'm putting a little electricity under you. Get up and keep it moving. Move forward and continue to grow yourself and to grow others. You've been listening to Dr. Charles on the Red Line. I trust and I pray this call has benefited you today, because there's something in you that needs to grow and become a part of your everyday action, and as a result, it's going to make a difference. I know it will. Have a great day. Have a great week. You've been listening to Dr. Charles. Good day.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.